Howdy guys, welcome back. This week I got a $50,000 private money investment into my business so that I could buy and fix real estate. People will often ask me what a private investment is, what I'm talking about, who is a private investor and why they would invest into deals like mine and other investors. We use private money quite a bit in our real estate transactions, and I just wanted to clear a few things up for people who didn't understand what that meant. So a private money partner is just somebody who lends you money into your real estate deal so that you can either buy or fix or use it for whatever you're using it for on your real estate deal. You can use private money on other types of businesses and stuff too. If you're starting a business and borrow some money from family, that's a private money investment. When people are investing into my business like this, it's not because they're friends and family that just want to help me start my business type of thing. Though they do want to help and keep their money local, it's really a two-way beneficial agreement where they're lending me money and they're getting paid interest. And for me, I get to use that money to buy another property or improve one that I already have. So it should be a win-win where they get to put their money somewhere that's safer than in a lot of other investment opportunities, and they get a better return than they do in a lot of other opportunities. They also know exactly what they're getting as far as it's usually a fixed interest, so they can plan and know how much they're getting back, as opposed to some other places they can put their money that like a stock market goes up and down. And so there's some real benefits to being a private money investor, and as a real estate investor, it's really nice benefits of being able to utilize private money into my real estate deals. So without going too far down the rabbit hole, if I make an agreement with a private money investor to invest into my business, we can negotiate the terms, not just the interest rate, but the length of term. I can usually get the money quicker than if I were to apply for a bank loan, so we don't have to do an appraisal and all these other things. Any special weird terms that we want to do, like maybe payments quarterly or every year or interest only payments, all these things are really easy to negotiate and work out with a private party rather than with a big bank. So private money is flexible, it's fast. On the flip side, it might not be as cheap as a commercial bank loan, but the commercial bank loans are a lot more expensive now than they were a few years ago. So really that's not as big of a deal, as it was a couple years ago too. The advantages for the investor is that they get to know where their money is. It's usually tied to a specific property. So it's not like if you invest in, a mutual fund or stocks and your money just kind of disappears to the other side of the country. They can physically drive by the property that they're invested in and see that we're working. They can see us swinging the hammer, so to speak, and they can see where their money is. It's also very well secured. So their money it has the security of the property. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I consider it to be one of the safest investments out there. And like I already mentioned, you get a fixed return if that's what's been negotiated. Like whatever's negotiated is what you're getting. So you can plan on it for your retirement or for the monthly payments coming back if you've got a set specific use for that, things like that. And a lot of people, another big advantage is they like to keep their money local. They don't trust or don't want to be involved with giving money to big corporations out of state. They want to see their money working here for other hardworking Alaskans, and that's a big benefit for some folks besides all the other ones. And so briefly on the paperwork, I talked about the security of it. So the investor, they're not just handing me a check and getting a handshake out of the deal. They're getting appropriate documents that secure it to a specific property. And so the documents are going to be called different things around the country. Here we use a deed of trust and a promissory note, a deed of trust and a deed of trust note, which is like the promissory note, and then the deed of trust actually ties it to that property. So you've got the legal enforceable IOU, says I owe him this money under specific terms, and then it's tied to the property, which means that if I weren't to pay, they could foreclose on the property. And if the property is worth a lot more than they're lending, then if I messed up and couldn't pay or something happened to me, they would actually get a windfall. They'd get, maybe a $200,000 property for a $100,000 investment. They would make even more money. So those mortgage documents are really good security. They're enforceable, they're notarized. They're the same type of documents that Wells Fargo or any other big national bank would get, the same type of documents if you went and borrowed money from them on the house. So the big question is, where do you find these private money investors? And the answer to that is kind of anywhere and everywhere and a lot of places you wouldn't expect. So, of course, friends and family, folks that might have some money that trust you, and not just trust you, but believe in your project when you present them. You're like, hey, I've got this opportunity here that looks like this. With this much investment, we get a return that looks like this. And so it's friends and family, it's colleagues. A lot of times somebody's selling their house and has leftover money. A lot of people have money in their retirement accounts like 401ks or IRAs. There's special ways that you can tap into those without triggering tax ramifications. Definitely talk to your tax folks, but we can line you up with people who can help you with that. But there's a lot of money in home equity that people can tap to invest in real estate. So there's a lot more private money out there than you might expect, or than a lot of people expect. And there's a lot of opportunities for investors, not just to help grow my business as an investor, but to also help my friends and family invest in their way into real estate and diversify their portfolio. A lot of folks that are closer to retirement might have a lot of money in Wall Street type products that are, they have their ups and downs as well, but investing in a private money note like this is a great way to diversify. In my opinion, it's safer, but maybe I'm biased. But I think a really well-placed real estate note is extremely safe because unlike things from Wall Street, you do actually have legal security in real estate, local real estate usually if you're investing local. So anyways, I got about an hour-long workshop that I had recorded on how to find, approach, and talk to people about investing into your business. So how to raise private capital. And if you're interested in that, hit me up. We've got the replay for sale. It's like an hour long, and it really shows my process of how I sit down with people from step one all the way through the closing table of how I raise money to buy real estate in my business. And it's not like it's super easy, but there's a lot of opportunity, not just for you, but it's really an opportunity to help other people invest together. So anyways, there's a lot more to it than that. If you're interested, hit me up, find me on all the socials. I've got deal by deals where I talk about all the deals I'm doing one at a time after another in chronological order. So we're up to like 13 or 14 and got 70 something left to go. Anyways, really appreciate the likes and follows. And if you enjoyed this or learned anything, please share it. Have a nice day. Thanks.